Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Business Intelligence. My name is Jonathan Diolio. Today, we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship. And as we belabor on the subject matter, I would like to differentiate between engaging and disengaging in entrepreneurship. I believe that entrepreneurship is as much about engaging as it is about disengaging. Sometimes we are lost in this race for success, in this race to do and to have, and we miss out the opportunity to disengage from all of that and consider what is really important in life. And that is a very dangerous practice, for as we engage in the so-called race for success, sometimes we put the urgent at the expense of the important. So that's why I always encourage my clients to disengage every now and again. And as I explain what disengagement should be all about, I point out that it should be an exercise wherein we engage in introspection, in looking inward, in considering what is our true passion. Because sometimes we do something for the sole sake of having and doing, and even though we are walking in the direction of accomplishing that which we have set out to accomplish, the spear that we are throwing at the target doesn't have a head. And it doesn't matter if the spear, if the arrow is going in the right direction, if it doesn't have a spearhead that is sharp enough, it won't penetrate and make a difference at the end of the day. You see, if I'm saying all the right words, but I am saying it without believing them and without passion and without owning them, it's like taking a bunch of bullets and throwing them with my hands. Doesn't matter how hard, it doesn't matter how hard I throw them, they are unlikely to penetrate and go through and make a difference. Whereas when we do that which we are really passionate about, it's like taking something that is considered insignificant and throwing it with such passion and drive that even though it is small, it has the capacity to penetrate and make a difference. I ask you the question this hour, are you throwing your arrows so as to penetrate, or are you throwing your arrows so as to just hit in the bullseye without necessarily penetrating it? What does this mean, Jonathan? Well, this is the basic difference, the fundamental difference between creating and begetting. You see, when we create something, when we do something for the sake of doing and having, that which we do doesn't have a life of its own. Every creation is created in the likeness and image of its creator, but it doesn't have the same capabilities as its creator. For example, I believe that we were created in the likeness and image of God, and whereas we have features that are in correspondence with the nature of God, to some degree, we are not able to do the things that God Himself does. Yes? Now, when we beget something, as human beings, we beget children. Yes? Sons and daughters. Our sons and daughters have the ability to do the same things that we have done. They can even do greater things. Yes? So as we engage in entrepreneurial activities, I think we ought to focus on not only creating businesses, but begetting businesses. Businesses that have a life of their own. Businesses that we can one day wake up and decide to cut the umbilical cord and they would not die as a consequence. Sometimes we think that we are business owners, but we are really just self-employed because our businesses cannot operate without us. So let us beget ideas. Let us beget entrepreneurial ventures. In order to beget, we all know that we have to fertilize. So don't merely do with your hands. Fertilize that which you do with your uniqueness. Pour out your heart, your mind, and your spirit in that which you do. And when you do that wholeheartedly, investing every modicum of your existence and energy and passion, you will go beyond creating and into begetting. We'll be right back with more of Business Intelligence after the break. Don't move. Welcome back to Business Intelligence. My name is Jonathan Diolio. In the last segment, we were talking about engaging and disengaging. We were talking about creating and begetting. Here, as we conclude, I want to focus on productivity. What is productivity? Productivity is how the output, the production that we are generating, is in correspondence with the results that we want to see in our life. See, I had many clients as I was building a career in financial services. Clients that did very well financially. Some of them would come to me and say, hey, Jonathan, we had a great year, 25% return in our portfolio. My business grew, but you know what? The extra hours that I put every week in order to make this business work took a toll on my home. And right now I'm going through a divorce. My kids are not doing well in school. And I have mixed feelings about this so-called success that I've experienced in business. And it was there that I realized that output is not the most important thing. Outcome is. Yes? And if we are seeking to have an outcome that would lead into happiness and balance at the familial, the entrepreneurial, and the spiritual level, we have to focus on the process that we engage in every day. Yes, it's all about process. It's a lot of process. Don't worry that much about the results. Just make sure that you are going through the steps that you need to go through in order to generate the results that you are after. Now, that process needs to go beyond business. As a matter of fact, it has to begin at the familial and the spiritual level. And then, as an outgrowth, we should experience success in business. But what is the point in having a great business? And at the end of the day, just having to enjoy or reap the benefits of our labor by our own because our family has disintegrated because of lack of attention? Let us not set ourselves up for failure. Let us have our inputs in tune with our outputs, in tune with our outcome. Let us have an integral approach to building our lives, and only then we will be able to call ourselves truly and sustainably successful. I pray that this message would resonate and would actually remind you of what you already know. I said here many times that in Business Intelligence, we do not necessarily have a lot to teach you. We are more in the business of reminding you of what you already know. You see, G.K. Chesterton said that on one occasion. He said that we as individuals need to be reminded more than we need to be instructed. Hereby, I have reminded you. Have a great evening, and I look forward to seeing you again here at Business Intelligence. Blessings.